record it if you want. Oh, okay. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So I'm assuming you see my screen up right now.
Yes, sir.
So with this, let me see. Okay. There we go. Okay, now see your screen. Okay, we're all set. Okay, very good. So I'm going to start off with a brief introduction to American National. And so history and why it's important that you deal with the right company because of the fact that we're getting into these products and you guys are life experts. So you know when you help your clients with this sort of products, it's for 10, 20, 30, down the road, right? And that's why I asked earlier if you attended Jared's presentation yesterday, where he stressed it's important that you deal with the right company, especially with annuities, because he had this personal experience with companies that weren't as strong. And when the client needed the policy, things changed.
Yeah,
So,
he mentioned that yesterday.
right? Yeah. So, like everything else, uh, it's important you deal with a company that has that expertise and that strength to back up their products. And you have that with American National. So we've been around since 1905. Well, Marcelo's probably seen our building down there. It's the only high-rise building in Galveston. And so it started back actually because of a hurricane. It pretty much when a hurricane came in 1900, uh, it pretty much decimated the island. In today's dollars, it was like over $1 trillion. And so these are slides that they have found in the archive and is actually in our museum. So let me just turn this on here. Okay, so this is a picture of basically people doing the cleanup. They had, let's see, okay, they had volunteers, Army Corps engineers during recovery and cleanup. And so here is just a quick history of American National. We were founded back in 1905. And we've weathered several challenges during the years. You know, during the initial pandemic, when a lot of companies struggled, we actually grew and continued to meet and stand behind promises that we've made to our clients and our agents. During the Depression, we stayed open. As you know, a lot of companies also suffered during that time. Again, we weathered those challenges and grew and kept our promises to our agents and their clients. So fast forward 2022, we merged with Brookfield Asset Management, where they had a subsidiary called Brookfield Reinsurance, which is basically the insurance arm for Brookfield. And up to today's date, they are over $1 trillion in assets under management.
Well,
that's with a T. Okay. And so they're heavily invested in real estate, infrastructure, renewable power, equity, and insurance. All, if you notice, all core businesses to back up their book and their assets. So with that, they're based in Toronto. They're also over 175-year company as well. So they've been around. And to be they wanted to be in the insurance industry in the United States. So since then, they've invested over $10 billion already. So all those questions that may have come up before regarding the intentions or the plans of Brookfield coming into the insurance industry in the US has gone away. See, they're not what's important to know about the company is they're not a private equity firm where they chop up companies and assets for profit. They're asset managers. So they lend their expertise in managing assets. And so they're here for the long haul, and they're looking into getting into the insurance industry because they like the long-term investments and growth that you will find in our industry. So now I'm going to switch back to American National. Now this is my bragging slide. So over the years, we received more than our fair share, I want to say, of our awards and recognitions, anywhere from Money Magazine to Forbes, AM Best, and so forth. But the one that I'm most proud of is the one that AM Best gave us. And again, I go back to even what Jared had said. It's important who you deal with. As you know, AM Best is a rating company that assesses the financial strength of insurance companies and financial institutions. They have awarded us an A or better rating for the last 83 consecutive years.
Whoa.
Mind you, 83. That's year in, year out, doing the right thing for our clients and our agents. Okay. So Paulo's going to be gone. I'm going to be gone. American National, you can count on them to be there.
Yes.
So next slide, I'm again also I want to point out is the one that was given to us by Newsweek as the most trusted insurer in the country. And you notice this was giving us to 2022, but if you notice, we were at the top of the list, and this wasn't actually done by Newsweek. They pulled our peers, other insurance companies. You'll see that basically, our competitors aren't even on the list. Okay, so now more recently, Forbes again gave us the Best Insurance Company Award for 2024. And we've done it 6 times. So rest assured, dealing with American National, you're doing your clients, your agents, they can all count on that. Okay, so enough bragging for me for now.
That's okay. That's okay.
So Paolo's used to me talking like that. Anyway, so we're here today to talk about annuities. So why annuities, right? Because I know you're insurance experts, but you know, insurance companies sell 2 products, life insurance and annuities. So with annuities though, there is no underwriting. I still have to meet an agent who says he loves underwriting, right? Because there are no health questions. Annuities are a product where your client's funds can grow tax deferred. Now, I've talked to an agent that says, hey, it's great when it's easy for me to talk to my clients because I already talk to them and help them protect their assets as far as their lives go. But now I have an option where I can use annuities to help them protect their assets as well. Now, these products, you've heard of annuities before, but they're also good for IRA and 401k rollovers. Now, these are just plans. You can put anything inside those under that plan, right? Just like what Jared said yesterday. He says you can have a gold bar and you can put it under an IRA and that could work, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just something that's under that, if you want to say an umbrella or a plan that when you put under a 401k rollover and an IRA, you can have an annuity under that. It can protect savings against markets ups and downs and guarantees return. And we'll go into more detail about that. Mm-hmm. Potential savings opportunity for insurable and uninsurable interests clients. You've heard of clients that may have wanted to have some funds that they could to buy a life insurance policy but didn't qualify because health wise. Again, these products does not have underwriting. So it doesn't matter if they've got cancer, they can qualify for this policy. Okay. Now, what are the annuity opportunities by selling annuities? Now, you've heard that we're in the midst of the greatest wealth transfer in our history. And it is being driven by these guys, what they call the baby boomers. Okay. And the silent generation, where they will pass down close to 85 trillion of assets by 2045 and 72.6 trillion going directly to their heirs. Now, if there was ever a question of finding a prospect or talking to someone who would have the need for annuities, now's a great time. Over 50% of the wealth is coming from this group. Now, the baby boomers in general are coming from ages 60 to 80. And so, again, it's a big group right now. They say there's over 10,000 of these boomers who retire every day. Okay. And so all you have to do is just go out. Again, you can start with your circle of friends or influence and just ask them, just like what you do when you're talking about life insurance. Again, this is something you can offer them where you can protect their assets. Now, again, there's another statistic say the first annuity that they found were bought by people around age 50. So if you're thinking that you have to go to individuals that are older that may need that, these are individuals could be uh, anywhere between like early 40s all the way to 80, or even like a CD individual. We know everybody. You guys may even have CDs, right? Now, Limra, you know of Limra. It's basically a marketing research company that deals mainly with insurance. They have data that they say there's over 2 trillion of annuities out of surrender right now because they track the sales of annuities that went into a 3-year contract. There were over close to 2 trillion out of that was sold 3 years ago. So that
Wow.
means these guys are ready. They're out of surrender period, like Paolo. And
Mm.
so they're just out there looking for new homes. And that's how it's a great opportunity for you guys to help your clients, because when they bought this back then, the rates weren't that great,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now you have this opportunity to get in better rates. And if you compare those to those types of policies, offer more benefits by going into an annuity compared to a CD. So, okay, now I'm going to start talking about the nuts and bolts of the products. The Patriot Index technology. This was created by BNP Paribas exclusively for American National. So no one has this. It is only American National who has it, and it is in our strategy index annuity. Okay. Now, this is an index where there is a cap to it, correct? Now, let me tell you a little bit more about it, where this is actually when they developed it with the data from the Department of Defense, where they identified sectors of the economy that would be critical and emerging for the future safety and economy of the country. So again, this is exclusive to American National only. Okay. Now, this is an uncapped allocation. So for those of you who are familiar with that, uncapped means, well, let me use an example as the IUL. Okay. You have an uncapped allocation on there, correct? Where they would compare the end of year values to the starting year values and give you that credit, right? Regardless what the number is. They don't limit what you can get. But typically, on an uncapped allocation, there is what they call a spread. A spread basically is a charge. So typically they'll say you'll have a 5%, 6%, or 7%, whatever the number is, spread, which means the index has to come back better than that number before your allocation will get credit. So again, say it's an 8% spread. If index comes back, they compare end of year value to the starting year value and say it's 7%. If your spread is 8%, you're not getting a credit, right? Because it has to come back higher than 8 before you start getting credit.
Give me a second,
Yep,
James.
yep.
Give me a second, James. Entendeu isso, Marcelo?
Uhum.
Esse threshold que ele está falando é um
Sim,
limite para você ganhar. Se o threshold da Annuity é de 0 a 5, 7%, o mercado tem que dar mais de 7 para a pessoa ganhar.
certo.
Tá? E isso é importante entender agora, porque daqui a pouquinho ele vai apresentar alguns produtos que tem, que tem spread para a gente saber. Tá bom?
Ok. Obrigado.
Go ahead, James.
Okay. So when the spread comes up, if you see that, you know you have to make better than that number before you get credit. Now, participation rate. Participation rate, you also see this typically on those because it tells you what the max you can make. It's basically a factor. They'll say 50% participation rate. And that's also typical to those uncapped allocations, right? Because they will say, we'll uncap it. You can get as much as you want, but we will only apply, like, say, 50% to it. So, say, for example, on the uncapped version, you would get a credit of 10%, right? Just an example.
Uhum.
But if the participation rate is only 50%, guess what? You only make 5, right? So in this allocation, I'm going to brag again. It's not only under 100%, it's actually 140%.
Over.
So say your interest comes back 10%, your credit is 10%. 140% participation means you will get 14%.
Give me a second again.
Yep.
Português.
Yes.
O que é o participation rate? É o percentual de participação da taxa do mercado. Ele está explicando, se a taxa der 10% e o cliente tem 50% de participation rate, o S&P 500 deu 10% e ele tem 50% de participação, ele vai ganhar quantos por cento? 5%. 50% dos 10%.
Certo.
Tá claro?
Uhum.
Ok. Agora, no caso aqui da ANICO, ele estava falando que eles têm 140%. 140 dos 10%. Então, se o mercado der 10%, a pessoa não ganha 10%, a pessoa ganha 14%.
14%.
Então, o participation rate é relacional à taxa do mercado, que vai...
Certo.
Certo, Johnny? Got it? Perfect. Go ahead, James, please.
All right. Okay. So let's see. Oh, I think I messed up here. Okay, here we go. All right. So 140%, no cap, no spreads, only with American National. So keep that in mind for those who wants to go into the index. Now I'm going to go to our biggest and newest annuity right now. Now, this is called the rate certainty annuity. This is the one Paulo wrote.
Yes.
And he's an expert on it now.
Oh, yes, I am.
So this is probably, the easiest application you can write on an annuity. So if you haven't tried it, reach out to Paulo, reach out to me. We'll help you with it. It's the simplest annuity you can get.
Yes.
One thing you need to remember on this, we just talked about allocations and how you get credit. Your client on this product as long as the allocation is not negative, they get that rate. See? Now, that's what they call a trigger rate. Now, this is based on an S&P 500 all equities, so there are no cash, no bonds in it to take advantage of that upside. It has the potential for, we've got 4 crediting strategies, and I'll go over that with you. And on these rates, unlike the old allocations where on the index, those offers you that cap that could change every year, this product doesn't do that. Once it's issued, that rate is guaranteed for 7, 10, or 20 years. Okay? So, one thing also, this product doesn't have that renewal risk because they change the interest rates or update that as far as what they credit every year on a one-year point-to-point allocation. This product, if you sell it and you guarantee the 7, 10, or 20 years, whatever that rate is guaranteed for 7, 10, and 20 years. Growth potential without a risk of loss. Again, we are not in that space where we're looking for 30, 20, 30% increase because there is a risk of loss. If your client gets into this product, they're guaranteed to keep their money. No loss of principal. Okay? That's why these individuals, anywhere from 40 to 60, 65, and so forth, up to 80, they're more concerned about keeping what they've made already, right? So in this product, if you're invested in the RCA product, even if the market goes down, the worst your client can do is they keep their money. Who has experience with like 401k plans? Paulo can attest to that if you're invested directly in the market, you have your ups and downs, but then if you go down, you follow that trend as well. If there's a negative movement on the market, then you lose principal. Your client loses money. And to recover, if you say just a 10%, 20, or 30% decrease on their assets, for them to get back to where they were, you'd probably need 15, 25, 35% just to recover, just to get back to where you were. An example, 100. Let's say you have $100. Market loses 20%, right? So you're down 20%. Now, next year, the market recovers, makes 20%. Does that mean you're back to 100 and got your money back? No, exactly, because a 20% loss on $100 brings you to $80. So you're now at 80. So the market, say, comes back again, gains 20%. 20% of 80 is only 16. So that's a total of 96. So you're still four short. So you for every drop, you actually need more of an increase to get back to where you were.
Mm-hmm.
This product guarantees your client not to lose money. That's why it's so attractive. There's protection, principal protection from loss, and guaranteed rates for the term of the product, as long as the index is not negative. And with that, also tax deferral. Basically, and that's one of the reasons annuities are so strong compared to a CD, even with just that feature of having tax deferral, you're basically having compounded interest. You don't get a 1099 every year on the gain where you have to declare it as income, unlike on a CD. So you lose that compounding effect on a CD. But on an annuity, your interest stays there. it grows interest on interest. Your principal grows interest. And like what Jared said also, third benefit, you don't get 1099. You don't have to declare it as income. You don't pay taxes on it until the time comes when you decide to take the money out. Okay? So to stress, you're not directly invested in the market, so you have that principal protection. Movements of the index are used to for a basis of your crediting. We have 4 allocations that you can choose from, and there's no minimum allocation amount. So unlike when we had that on the strategy index where you needed 5,000, there is no minimum per allocation. And here are the 4 allocations. What's the performance trigger? The enhanced performance trigger, the protected performance trigger, and the declared rate. So as an example, you will see this rate sheet on your agent portal. So you have available to your clients a 7-year, a 10-year, or a 20-year contract. 20-year contract, you can't be more than 50 years old to qualify for that term. So I'm just going to use, say, the 10-year as a benchmark. Okay, so it's somewhere in the middle. So declared rate, pretty much what it means, you're guaranteed that 3.8 on a 10-year. The dynamic protected trigger, that's one where your trigger rate is 5.8 as long as the index doesn't come back negative, but your floor is 2%. So you're guaranteed 2% on this contract. Now, the most popular option is this performance trigger. Because on the performance trigger, on a 10-year rate, you can get 7.8 as long as the index doesn't come back negative, right? Now, on the last allocation, this is the enhanced trigger. Now, it pays 9.4, but remember what we talked about earlier about the spread? That's basically that threshold. If you don't make at least, if the index doesn't come back at least 5%, you still get 0. So as long as it goes over 5%, then you get 9.4. So that loses kind of a bit of its attractiveness, because if you compare that to the performance trigger, it's a difference of 1.6%. But it's not as attractive, because now not only does the index have to come back not 0, it has to be better than 5. Yes. So we're right now, most of the applications that are coming in are in the performance trigger. Because as long as the index is not negative, client makes 7.8. And that 7.8 rate is guaranteed for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's a twist. We see some applications where agents do a blend. Yesterday, Jared talked about blending it by putting about 10% in here and the declared rate, another 20 in here, and then the rest in the performance, right?
Yes.
We see some applications where you can do a 50-50. 50% on the protected and 50% on the performance. So what that does is it basically guarantees your client to get 1% minimum, because they're 50-50, right?
Yes.
1% floor and a 6.8 upside.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
that
one
possible?
more.
Is that
Yeah.
is that possible to design annuity with 50% in protected trigger and 50% in performance trigger?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's that additional option you can do, because like what we were talking about blending it, right?
Okay.
You can offer your client, hey, like I said, I think over 90% of the applications come in under the performance trigger.
Uhum.
And it's because they take advantage of a zero floor, 7.8. Very
Yeah.
nice, right?
I love this one.
Very nice. But then for someone who wants to kind of hedge up with those numbers,
Uhum.
you can get 2% guaranteed, but the upside is only 5.8.
Uhum.
But you know, you get 2% minimum guaranteed, still very good, right?
Yes.
But by doing, like you said, doing a blend 50-50 between these two, you basically land in the middle.
Uhum.
So it's 1% minimum, 6.8 on the upside.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Ok. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Português não.
Yeah.
Ok.
Essa é a annuity mais simples para a gente entender e oferecer para o cliente. E essa é a annuity que mais paga hoje no mercado. De todas que tem no mercado que eu conheço, que a gente trabalha. A American National está oferecendo esse produto em 7, 10 e 20 anos. E esse produto ele se chama RCA, Rate Certainty Annuity. É uma anuidade que você tem a certeza que você vai ganhar aquela taxa. E ela tem 4 características para você desenhar. O cara ultra conservador, que não quer perder nada, você bota ele no... Vocês estão vendo meu mouse? Não?
Não. Agora só, tô.
Tá. Você bota ele no declared rate, o ultra conservador. Ó, é 3,80 flat. Desenhou a annuity 3,80 flat e não vai perder nunca isso aqui por 7 anos, por 10 anos. É um voo de brigadeiro.
Certo.
Essa segunda aqui, a Protector Trigger, ela é uma outra coisa que ela dá para o cliente o seguinte. Do 3,8 independe do mercado. Se está negativo ou positivo, ele ganha 3,8. É garantido.
É.
Essa aqui vai depender do mercado. Se o mercado der negativo, nesse Protect Trigger, o cliente tem 2% de garantia. Se o mercado der 0 ou qualquer número positivo, o cliente não ganha 5,8. Ou seja, ele ganha os 2 mais os 3,80. 5,8. Make sense? Tá claro? Johnny? Feito?
Claro.
Ok, excelente. Agora nós temos o terceiro nível. O terceiro nível é o Performance Trigger, que é aquela que dá o Zero Ground, Zero it's my hero, o Zero, deu zero negativo, o cliente não perde nada do capital dele. Mas qualquer número positivo que der, o cliente ganha 7,55 para 7 anos e 7,80 para 10 anos.
Deixa eu fazer uma pergunta. Se, por exemplo, a bolsa deu 1% positivo.
7,8.
Ok.
Se a
Se
bolsa
deu
deu
0,
3,
é 0.
se ela deu 0, ele ganha 7,8. Hey, James, on the
Yes, sir.
performance trigger, is the market goes 0, the client still get the 7,8 or must be negative? 0. Se der 0, ele pega 7,8. Qualquer número acima de 0, ele pega 7,8. Deu 5, go back again. Go 5, ele pega 7,8.
Nope, hang on one second.
Yes. Agora,
Rapaz,
deu acima de 7,8, o cliente vai ganhar 7,8.
certo.
Tá? Esse aqui, ó, Performance Trigger, como ele falou, mais de 90% das annuities que a American National vende hoje, ela vende nesse produto. Porque o cliente nunca perde o capital e ele ganha 7,8. Ele está ganhando 2 pontos a mais que aqui em cima. Eu fechei minha primeira annuity com a ANICO nesse aqui, ó, 7,8. Agora, ele está explicando que eu posso oferecer para o meu cliente. Vamos supor que o meu cliente tem 3 dinheiro,
Certo.
300 mil dólares. Eu posso falar para o cliente, põe 100 mil no 3,8. Põe 100 mil no 5 ponto, nesse aqui, que você vai ganhar no mínimo 2%, com mais 3,8. E você põe mais 100 mil nesse aqui, que você pode ganhar 7,8. James, Can you
Yes.
explain a little bit? Let's say I have a client and he has three kind of monies, like
Okay.
$100,000.
Okay.
Let's say he decided to put $100,000 here, $100,000 here, 100,000 here. How that works for him? How this perform for him?
Okay. So we're again, if 100,000, say he gets a 10-year contract, right?
Yes, 10-year contract.
All right.
Okay. Now which allocations we're going to put him all on a performance trigger.
The 100 in declared rate.
100 here. So he has 300.
Yes, 300.
Okay. 100 in declared rate, 100 in protected, 100 in performance.
That's correct, sir.
Okay. On the declared rate, it doesn't matter. He will get 3.8 guaranteed every year.
Ok.
Perfeito, gente?
Perfeito.
Mickey, perfeito?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Protected trigger. The worst he can do on that second 100 is 2%.
The worst.
Guaranteed. Every year, minimum 2%. And if the index is not negative, 5.8.
So we're gonna get 5.8 and $100,000 and 3.8 and another $100,000.
Right. But remember, there's a trigger here.
Yes.
Index doesn't come as long as the index is not negative.
Yes.
And
Yes.
like we talked about, zero is not negative.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Zero is not negative. Mickey's doing a thumbs up. So zero is not negative. Even if the market is flat, didn't do anything, you get 5.8.
Perfect.
If negative, say it went down, right? He gets 2 minimum. He gets 2%. If the market is negative, he guaranteed 2%.
Perfect.
Okay. Third 100,000. Third 100,000. If index doesn't come back negative, 7.8. If the index on this product on the performance say comes back negative, see Paulo, no one likes to hear zero, right?
Yes.
So tell your clients, Mr. and Mrs. clients, index didn't do so well this year, you keep your money. No loss, guaranteed. You keep your money. Principal protection. You have a question, Mickey?
The question I have, will that be run into 3 different plans, like individual plans?
No.
So it will be one combo?
One plan. So basically by doing that, client gives us 300,000 and tells you, Mickey, I want 100,000 declared rate, 100,000 in protected trigger, and 100,000 in performance.
Got it. So if you want to
Yep.
play conservative, you just make the combo in all 3 and you're gonna make money anyway.
Yeah. Actually, the performance is pretty aggressive.
Yes.
Also. Yeah.
Yes.
But the mere fact, Mickey, that if your client puts money in an annuity, guaranteeing no loss of principal, they don't lose money. That's pretty strong. And that's where we are. You'll have clients come back and brag, hey, I made 18, 20, 25, 30 last year. Okay. You go back to your client and say, well, show me what happened when the years weren't so good.
Right.
Yeah. Then they don't tell you about when they lost 20, 25, 30. And when that happens, that's kind of an average killer. Since we went through a lot of the index, we all come back. I want to show you this one slide. Okay. So I just want to tell you about the dynamic index. This is something also new that S&P 500 designed mainly for the insurance industry. First index they designed for insurance industry. Okay, not for what you call investments and so forth. And it's designed to pretty much follow what the S&P 500 does. That's all it's designed to do. It's supposed to be very not volatile, but if you look at this date, one thing unique with this index, it's designed to rebalance 13 times a day. 13 times to react to the market. So far, it's only been doing about 2 rebalances a day, if that. But it's designed to rebalance up to 13 times a day. Because, and that's when you see this. See the big difference? S&P 500 and all other indices take, on average, 2 to about a week to react. So when there's change in the market, they fall behind. And that's where the index, this dynamic intraday index, because they can react in 24 hours, sometimes within the day. They can change 13 times depending on what causes or what happens in the market. So they take advantage of that. So historical returns, they compared that also because of that quick reaction. They're able to adjust 13 times a day. They're taking advantage of that. Now, we talked about those cap rates, right? So I'm going to need participation from you guys. So in 2006, it's up. What does the client make?
Sorry, say
You
again?
got to turn your mics on. 7.8, right?
Yes, 7.8.
Okay. Okay, you see that line there?
Yes,
Okay. It's still not negative. What did you make?
7.8.
Right. Okay, not so good here.
He doesn't lose anything, 0.
Doesn't lose money. They keep their principal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here, 7.8. 7.8.
7.8.
7.8. And by the way, if you were on an index on averages this year's, that year, this year, those will ruin their averages. Okay. Those will ruin the average. Just like we were talking about losing 20%, you need about maybe 22, 24 to get back to where you were. That messes up your average. This year, 7.8, 7.8, 7.8, 7.8. Here, client keeps their money, no loss of principal.
No.
Client keeps their money, no loss.
Mhm.
7.8, 7.8, 7.8, and so forth. Keep their money, 7.8. Here, 7.8. It doesn't matter even if the, like I said, even if the index is 0, they make 7.8.
Perfect. So on average, each 10 years, we can get 1 or 2 negative, right?
Excellent question. Yeah, Mickey.
Looks like we had 4 negative years in 16 years. So every
Yes.
4 years we have about 1.
Okay. And since this is one thing S&P 500 also did for American National, because we asked them the same question. They look at all their data and they took samples, daily samples of 10-year slices, because we issue policies every year, right? Every day. We sell policies every day. So they checked daily samples of 10-year slices. 76% of the time, it was not negative. So how does that affect you, right? And the contract. It means every 10-year period, your client can get 7 to 8 credits.
That's good.
Wow.
Very
In a
good.
good run, maybe more. Not such a good 10-year, they don't lose money.
I like it enhanced.
Yeah. Now, here's also for the 20-year, because remember we talked about earlier how maybe not such a strong product to sell, but think about someone in their early 40s, middle 40s. because you have to be under 50 to qualify for the 20-year, right? I'm going to go back here. Who do you think could qualify for that?
My daughter.
Okay.
Just left-
How
she
about,
just left her job.
yeah, how about,
401k.
yeah, how about those people who are in jobs that they change jobs because they're young, right?
Yes, they have a lot of 401k sitting
Yeah.
there.
Imagine what they can do on a performance
Woo!
right now on a 20-year, 8.2, 9.7, and that's like I said, it's guaranteed for 20 years. It's not 1 year point to point where next year, we'll adjust the rates, which is typical of those 1 year point to point, right? That's why they call it 1 year only. This 20-year, that's guaranteed. And then you get 7 to 8 credits every 10-year period, and they don't have to worry about it. So these are excellent for younger individuals that have like a 401k plan out there that they can roll over.
Yep. Or keep that slide, please.
Okay.
I'm going to show two things for my people here.
Mhm.
First of all, do you guys remember the 72 rule?
Yes.
Ok. 72, lembra, Marcelo, da regra de 72?
Não lembro.
72 dividido por 7,8 dá quanto?
Diga agora.
9 alguma coisa.
Uhum.
É isso mesmo?
72.
Dividido por 7,8.
9,23.
9,23. Olha só que coisa interessante. A regra de 72 diz que a cada 9 anos o dinheiro do cliente dobra. Com esse produto RCA, Performance Trigger, the client almost double his money in 10 years. Let's
Yeah.
say you like $500,000 and wait for 10 years. He's going to get $1 million. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
On average, we have seen the numbers. On average, that's so great. But the thing that I want to talk about, uma coisa que me chamou atenção aqui é quando a gente falou dos 3 dinheiros. 100 mil a 3,8, 100 mil a 5,8, 100 mil a 7,8. Se no pior ano o mercado deu zero, não, deu menos, o mercado deu negativo. No pior ano, esse cliente ganhou 3,8 de 100 mil e ganhou 2% de 100 mil. Ele fez 5,8. Faz sentido?
Uhum.
Ou seja, 4,8 em 200 mil. Todo mundo perdeu dinheiro. Ele ganhou 4,8.
5,8, né?
Are you following my Portuguese, James?
On the numbers.
Yes. So if the guy puts $100,000 on 3.8 and $100,000 in 5.8, if the market goes down negative, he's going to make at least 5.8. 3.8 plus 2%. 5.8 in $200,000. Everybody's going to cry. And your client's going to get money, 4.8%. But listen, if the market goes zero or any positive, he's going to make 3.8 and $100,000, 5.8 and $100,000, and 7.8 and $100,000. So let's do all together. 5 and 3, 8, plus 7, 15, 15 plus 2, 17, almost 18, divided by 3, 6% on average.
Uhum.
6% on average.
Got it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Agora, posso falar, Paulo?
Vai? Cada um
Não,
enxerga.
rapidinho. That can be even better. I don't know, James, correct if I'm wrong, but that can be even better if we forget about the first one, the declared one,
Yes.
and jump to the last one, the enhanced, because
Well,
based on the graphic he showed, most years was over 5%, right?
I saw
well,
two
the thing
less.
is, again, we don't look at the numbers, not important as long as not negative. But here, that's kind of a factor. Like I said, you will, if you go back to that graph they showed,
Go ahead.
basically this is no credit, no credit, no credit, no credit, no credit. This is probably no credit either. No credit. So two,
Okay.
4, 5,
Mickey?
probably brings it up to about 7 that you don't get credit. So it messes up what it is. Like I said, if again, that's an aggressive way of doing it, they can do that. But then the selling point on here is that as long as index is not negative, you get the credit.
It's better.
And then one
think it's
thing
better
they,
this
they
way.
look at, we
Avoid.
talked about the renewal risk. You know, every year, your clients, you do this reviews as well. Every year, the conversation is very easy. Mickey, this year the market was good. We made 7.8.
Yes, sir.
Right? Yeah.
I don't care
Okay.
how much good it was.
Okay.
Market.
Market was 0. Hey, we got 7.8. I'll see you next year. Right? That's your annual review. The
Yeah.
other
Stay
side, the other
safe.
kind is, Mickey, this year the market didn't do so well. Okay. You keep your money.
Yeah, not good.
No loss. No loss no loss of principal. You keep your money. I'll see you next year.
Yeah,
And then
not
next year,
good. Not
it's
good.
good. 7.8. Okay. Yep. Yeah. So
This product is so good. I like it. And this product can do a very good magic for people that is gonna doing the right thing for the client, the best interest for the client, all over the years. Because when you met the client next year and say, "Oh, marked is 0, you made 7.8." Next year, "Oh, marked came 2, you're gonna have 7.8." On the third year, that guy, he was gonna spread the word. "Oh, Mick is saving my money. Mick is making me money. Even though the market is not good, I'm making money with Mickey." So his friends come knock on your door. "Hey, Mickey, how can I do this? Hey, Lenny, how can I do
yeah.
this?" Because the word's gonna spread. Every year, we're gonna give good news for the client. And one question, my friend, Jared told that yesterday, we can change the allocation, not for this product. This product
You can. You can move.
can move every year.
Yeah. Every year.
It's not if the client decide to go like performance this year, next year he can move for protector and enhance it
Yep. Yep.
every year.
Every year they can change.
You have a penalty?
No,
No penalty. Did you say penalty, Marcelo?
yes.
Okay.
No,
Yes.
no penalty to move. Yeah. No
Okay.
penalty to change allocations.
If my client dead in the 5 years,
If it,
se ele morre, Paulo, ele
yeah.
faz com 10 e morre com 5.
Marcelo is
My
asking
client died.
about the death of the client.
Okay. Say they
During the
die,
term.
right? So we have safety of principal, their tax deferral, surrender charge free withdrawal. If they pass away, there are no charges on that. They waive the surrender fees.
Okay.
So we can issue the 0 to 85, 7 and 10 years, 0 to 50 on the 20. Minimum premium is 10,000 on non-qualified. Your CD money, 5,000 on qualified funds. You know, we have that. And this is important also. Your client has liquidity, has access to the funds up to 10% surrender charge free. Okay. So what to look for when you talk to your clients, right? You ask for your clients with a longer time horizon. You look for clients who are retiring or near retirement. They're excellent prospects for that. Clients who switch their jobs, excellent rollover opportunity. Okay. Clients with current IRAs, again, the approach here is that they have to diversify because it's a safe investment. Clients with existing or out of surrender annuities, as I mentioned, there are over 2 trillion out there. Client with existing variable annuities. Clients who changed their jobs. Grandparents, younger clients. And then ask for referrals, which you do, right? So what to ask? Very simple. Can I show you a savings account that will guarantee your principal and interest? And you don't have to pay taxes if you do not withdraw the money. Would that interest you? That's an excellent opening question.
Yes, it is.
Second, where do you keep your retirement accounts, and when was the last time you reviewed those assets? Because a lot of them, they put their CD money on there. They may not review it until you come along.
That's right.
Right. And then if they have statements, ask to look at it. And then send it over to Paulo, and then he'll look at it for you. Because you don't know what they have. 401k, former employers, move over. Now, this is the same Jared, but I had a similar slide to it. When I saw his slide, he had that grid, right? Because
Yes.
there were 3 things that he was comparing a CD to like a variable annuity. Now, the CD offers that low interest and safety. So that's where those things come in. And then on stocks and mutual funds, you've got those higher returns, potential higher returns, but there's a lot of risk, right?
Yes.
So what we want to do is eliminate this low interest that's associated with a CD, and we want to eliminate the risk associated with stocks and mutual funds. So this is basically easier, like a tic-tac-toe. You want to keep the safety. You want to take out those funds and take out the risk. You want to keep the high return. And that's where the index annuity we showed you comes in.
I like the game.
Yeah.
I like the game. For real. Can I have it? Send it to me,
Yeah.
please.
It's a tic-tac-toe.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's nice to have.
Yes.
Yep. And then here's the other thing. Also, one of our, I stole this from the other sales manager. He says, you got to go out there with style. So what does style mean?
Wow, that's so nice. That's so good.
Okay. So style, you've got that potential for stock market returns, downside protection, zero floor. You keep your money. I got to change that 0 hero thing he put there. I'll say you keep your money.
Yeah.
Tax deferral. Interest earned is tax deferred. No withdrawals. You don't have to declare it as income. Compounding interest. We all know how strong compounding interest is. Yield. We've got the yields based on those strategies that are guaranteed 7, 10, and 20 years. Client needs the funds up to 10% free withdrawal. Estate planning, it's a live product. Goes through without probate. No delays. And one thing I want to add, this product, we don't require securities license. Your life insurance license is good enough. As long as you take the state CE requirements and the training, you're good to go. This has required training you can complete in your agent portal.
Yes. I have done both.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes. I have a question for you. Yesterday,
Yes.
Jerry told about the double living benefits, but it's for the other product, right?
Oh, that
Okay.
factor that's available, but I believe that's not with us, and
Yes.
I believe there was a cost associated with it.
Yeah, you said that 10% liquidity is the money for whatever the client needs or wants, or
Yeah,
must be
it doesn't matter if they want 10%, they can get it.
okay, perfect.
Of
And
this, and it's the starting annuity value, because
okay,
every year it grows, right?
yes,
So every year they look at the starting annuity value of that year, and 10% of that is allowed surrender charge free.
it must be on their anniversary, like September to September.
Yeah, within that year. If they took 10% here already, they can't take another 10% until next year.
Okay,
But if they need more than the 10%, whatever the surrender charges are, it will only apply to whatever is over the 10%. So still could be just a little effect on whatever they need.
okay. And one more question before Mickey
Mhm.
goes. If they need the money for disease or accident or something like that, or for long-term care or whatever it is.
It's up to them. They can use it for anything. We
But
don't
there's
require
penalty for them to access the money.
on if there are, let me see. If you're saying comparing it to if
Let's
for
say they get
ADRs,
something.
yeah,
Let's say they get some illness or
there's
accident
confinement, disability, and death waives
that
the surrender charges. Yep.
all over all threes, they don't get any kind of
Surrender. No
surrender.
surrender charge, no penalty. Yeah.
Ok, perfect. Então, confinamento significa o cara ser colocado no asilo, morte ou invalidez. Ok?
Uhum.
Se o cara for para um asilo, morrer ou invalidez, ele pode pegar o dinheiro da Annuity a hora que ele quiser, toda a grana, que não tem pênalti nenhum. Ou 10% por ano, se ele quiser viajar, ir para a Europa, whatever it is. Ah, eu tenho $500 mil, vou botar essa grana aqui, eu vou precisar de, sei lá, quero 30 mil para ir para a Europa todo ano, ele pega 30 mil todo ano. Uhul! Go ahead, Mickey. Mickey.
Thank you. James, question. I know the annuity, the plan is for 7, 10, and 15 years, correct?
20.
7, 10, and 20.
20. Okay, I missed that. And what is the cash value amount to start up the plan?
Now
There
this
is a minimum?
10,000 on like the CD money, 5,000 on qualified, like the rollovers and IRA.
Okay.
Non-qualified, 10,000.
Correct.
Qualified, 5,000.
5,000. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right.
So,
Null applications
Oh.
available, electronic application. We did one yesterday or 2 days ago with Paulo,
Yes.
and they can do, you can do the like what Paulo did. He did it with his client over Zoom.
Yes.
Ó,
A aplicação ela precisaria ser presencial, mas feita pelo Zoom, face to face, eu mandei por e-mail, o cliente assinou a policy, já foi direto para American National e voltou para mim o e-mail e já submeti a policy, tudo sem precisar encontrar o cliente pessoalmente.
certo.
Yep.
Easy. Easy.
Easy signature. It's all clicks.
Yes, sir. Marcelo.
Ok. Eu entendi que se ele não qualify 10 mil, né? E se ele não tiver problema nenhum de doença, é 5 mil.
Não. Non-qualified money é dinheiro que ele tem na conta corrente, que ele tem no CD, que ele tem na poupança, que ele ganhou no business dele. Esse é um dinheiro não qualified.
Ah,
Qualified money é tudo que vem de IRA, 401k. Planos já estabelecidos.
certo.
Esse é um dinheiro qualified monies.
Ok. E na questão de saúde também é avaliado também?
Não, zero saúde.
Zero
Não,
saúde.
não tem avaliação de saúde. James, I
Okay.
have a question for you. We
Yep.
have a lot of people. They put money under the mattress. They have like 20, 30, 50, 80, $100,000. This is non-qualified, and the money is not in the bank.
Yep. Hey, you know, that's non-qualified money. 10,000. I see Mickey laughing over there. And if
He
you put
has
it
a
in
lot
a
of clients. He has a lot of clients. They put
if
the
you
money under the mattress.
if you put it on an annuity, there's no risk of the vacuum cleaner eating that up, you know. So if it's under a mattress, so hey, it's
And
even
how they
safer
can
that way.
how they
Yeah.
can send this money to you because it's legit.
Well,
It's legit
yeah.
offer. They have the money, pile of
in-
money.
Okay. Easiest way, tell him to bring it to a bank, put it in an account. We will EFT up to 3 million.
How about they put direct on the ANICO account, make a deposit? Is that possible?
Well, they'll have to write us a check, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So
Transfer
this
to
got,
money order.
but they'll take money order, but I don't know if post office will write say 80,000, 50,000. What's the maximum of the money order?
It's
$1,000?
$1,000. Yeah.
They'll have to send 50 checks.
Sério?
So like I said, here, hey, also since you brought up the value, we have before before with the Moody's, the maximum we will take per household was 1 million. So now with Brookfield, they increased the maximum without approval 3 million.
3 million.
Last December, they approved 8, 12, 15, 25. So if you get those big numbers, you know, don't shy away from it. We just have to get permission.
Okay.
And we let them know. And like I said, they're not afraid of the big numbers. They know how to handle those accounts.
Okay, perfect.
So, and if you look at your comp, just see how much commission that would be.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
James, thank you so much. Anybody
Oh,
have
you're welcome.
any question for James right now? Lenny?
Thank you.
No, well, I'll talk to you later in reference to this client that I have. He's 66 and he has 300,000. I think it's a specific. Let's see what that could be done.
Okay.
So all those annuities is for growing money. Do you have any for income?
Well, what I recommend if when the time comes out of surrender,
Uh-huh.
you surrender it, it goes through the contract, and you can have it moved over to a SPIA,
SPIA. Okay.
a
Perfect.
lifetime payout, period certain, or you can annuitize it also after the end of the 5th year. But
Oh, só mais uma pergunta, Paulo.
Go ahead.
É porque eu tenho um cliente que está numa situação mais ou menos assim. Ele está com um estado de saúde debilitado, mas não sabe quanto tempo tem, 2 anos, 3 anos, 4 anos, ok? Se ele fizer, a família, se não quiser tirar o dinheiro, pode dar continuidade para completar os 10 anos, por exemplo? Se ele fez uma de 10 anos, ok?
Uhum.
Ele vem a falecer no meio do caminho. Isso, esse plano pode continuar, a família é só resolver tirar quando cumprir o prazo do contrato?
Marcelo is bringing a case. He has a client. His health is not good. Probably if he does a 10 years contract,
mhm,
and let's say he passed away like on the 4th or 5th year,
Yep.
his family can still keeping the 10 years contract for money to keep it growing, or they must surrender the annuity because he passed away and start another one.
they'll have to surrender and start another one. or they just set it up for receiving like monthly payments or interest payments or period certain. That's what they call annuitizing it, but no surrender charges. So the family can take it because it is a death benefit. He assigns a beneficiary, and from there, they can start a new contract
Okay.
if they don't need the money. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Marcelo.
For you, it's better for you for them to take it. Then you can write a new policy for them, Marcelo.
Yes, and I can make another commission.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Johnny, any question?
Thank you. There was one slide I missed. It was about 5 slides back. But
Let's
he said, yeah. One more. Another one. No, I did. You passed it. Two. One more. This one, I think. Yeah. Let me grab it. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're gonna send the copy of the whole presentation anyway, right?
Yeah, I'll send it to Paulo.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Mickey, one more question?
Well, just this slides is all available on the American National website.
No.
No?
No. You pay a dinner for us in Massachusetts. You can deliver it to you.
Let me get my first client first.
And we
I'm on it. Believe me.
I know. Pega aquele cara grandão lá que tem uns 500 mil paradaços lá, cara. Traz ele pro
Don't worry. I'm aiming on him.
nice.
Yeah.
James,
James, thank you
Paulo,
very much. Thank you very much for your time.
You're
Very
very
well
welcome.
explained.
Very welcome.
I really
Thank you,
appreciate it.
James.
Okay,
All
pessoal.
right.
Anything? James, thank you so much. I really appreciate the time. I really appreciate the teaching. And for us, Annuity Now, it's easy to talk with the client. And I'm going to bring all the cases together and see how can you help us to serve better our
Definitely. Like you saw, there's not a lot of moving parts on here.
Yes.
Very easy to explain. And even after you sell it, very easy also to maintain, pretty much, right?
Okay.
Oops.
All right.
Sorry.
Appreciate
Great.
it. Have a blessed day.
Everyone, have a good afternoon.
Show. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Valeu, galera.